Formula One driver Max Verstappen just did something nobody thought was possible, not even himself. Let me explain. Entering the Japanese Grand Prix weekend, if you had told Max Verstappen he'd qualify third and finish the race third, he'd almost certainly have taken it given the form of McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari through the season's first two Grand Prix weekends that saw all three of those teams score a win and or multiple podiums of some sort. And after Japan's practice sessions, Max may have even settled for worse than P3 given how difficult the Red Bull was handling around Suzuka's fast and flowing circuit that just had Max feeling unsettled in the car, and that is never something that you want at a racetrack like Suzuka where you're constantly taking corners at extremely high speeds. So we entered Saturday qualifying with the idea of a McLaren 1-2 firmly on all of our minds, considering they have the consensus fastest car in F1 right now, and also considering they topped all three practice sessions in Japan, and as far as Max Verstappen goes, we all expected him to be battling to top the second row behind them. And folks, that is not what we got. No, what we got was Max Verstappen putting together arguably the greatest qualifying lap of his entire career and setting a Suzuka all-time lap record on his way to pipping Lando Norris to pole by 12 hundredths of a second in a car that absolutely should not have been capable of achieving a pole position. You know this was an insanely good lap when the normally calm, cool, and collected Max Verstappen, who usually just says, "Simply lovely," after winning amazing things, absolutely freaked out over team radio after qualifying P1. Fernando Alonso, a two-time F1 World Drivers' Champion who's also somehow still an F1 rookie, had this to say about Max's pole lap. "The lap he did is only down to him. The car is clearly not at the level to fight for pole or even the top 5, but he manages to do magical laps and magical weekends. At the moment, he's the best, the reference for all of us. We need to keep improving to reach that level." And while Max putting an inferior car on pole position is easily the most impressive thing he did all weekend that not even he would have thought possible beforehand, a close second is how he was able to convert that pole position into a race win by holding off the two McLarens all race long due to an absolutely 100% perfect drive. He could not have done anything better. Okay, he was also helped out by some very questionable strategy decisions by McLaren. When I saw Lando coming into the pits right behind Max to make it so that they were on the exact same tire strategy, you know, the one that Lando couldn't pass Max with already, I screamed at my TV. I yelled. I went, "Ah!" Max's Japan pole position and win were his first of each of those things this season, and make it so that the first 4 race sessions of F1 this season all have different pole sitters and different race winners. If you need one stat to point to in order to help convince someone that F1 is amazing this season, make it that one that I just said.